everyone, today we are going to discuss about one of the instructional strategies of inclusive education that is called the buddy system. We'll understand this concept through some questions like what do you mean by buddy system, who are buddies, and what type of roles do they need to play in helping and assisting their needy peers, and what are the benefits of buddy system. So let's see what is buddy system. The buddy system is a procedure in which two individual buddies operate together as a single unit so that they can monitor and help each other. Similarly, one of the two buddies will further divide into smaller parts until the request is fulfilled. Merriam-Webster is the first known use of the phrase buddy system in 1942. According to Webster, the buddy system is an arrangement in which two individuals are paired. The buddy system is basically working together in pairs in a large group or alone. Both the individuals have to do the job. The job could ensure that the work is finished safely from one individual to the other. Actually, in an inclusive setup, paying off individual attention is utmost needed, especially for meeting the special needs of the differently abled to their adequate adjustment education and wholesome development along with their non-disabled peers. The task is quite challenging for the classroom or subject teacher. If there is the presence of locomotor impaired learners in the classroom who may need a variety of assistance and help for their proper mobility in one or the other types of learning situations, like turning the pages of their texts, holding the things in their hands, or placing them on the table, performing one or the other activities associated with practical tasks related to curricular or co-curricular activities. Similarly, the children with hearing impairment may need the help of providing them with lecture notes in writing form or convey what has been required by the teacher in the form of homework, assignment, or project work. On the other hand, visually handicapped children may need to be helped in getting audio description or translation of the learning events of the classroom along with necessary assistance for their proper mobility. Similarly, children suffering from intellectual impairment, autism, and learning disabilities may need to be assisted and helped in getting adjusted in the inclusive setup, along with the satisfaction of their learning and developmental requirements. As we know, we cannot have so many hands and minds to help them at the time of need, means unless the cooperation from the fellow students present in the class is not secured. Moreover, it should be availed in proper form from the persons who are properly trained in meeting these special needs of the differently abled at the proper time in a proper way. The adoption of the buddy system is advocated for meeting the demands of the diverse learners' situation arising frequently and necessarily in the learning setup of inclusive classroom. Now moving further with the next questions, who are buddies? Buddies in relation to inclusive setup are the student volunteers, mostly the peers of the same age and grade, selected from the group of non-disabled students who are further trained for understanding the needs of their differently abled peers and providing help and assistance to them at the proper time in a proper way. Mostly, the system known as peer-to-peer buddy system is adopted for helping and assisting the disabled or differently abled peer is looked after by a peer or small group of the students called buddies. This small group may vary in size, but every time there must be someone present from the non-disabled buddies to assist and help the particular disabled students belonging to their buddy circle in his adjustment. Next question. What type of roles do they need to play in helping and assisting their needy peers? Regarding their roles, buddies have the opportunities to play their roles both in curricular and co-curricular life of the school. Buddies in the classroom means the non-disabled volunteers along with the disabled peer of their buddy circle may work together, share equipment, and participate together in cooperative group work or project activities. In the games and other co-curricular activities, the students belonging to a buddy circle comprising non-disabled volunteers and the disabled peers may work and participate in a cooperative way. Their activities may also be extended beyond school boundaries, such as attending social gatherings in the community or inviting each other to family functions, etc. Essentials for successful employment of buddy system. While initiating the buddy system in an inclusive setup, the teacher or school authorities may have an orientation talk and dialogue with the students, acquainting them with the nature of difficulties faced by their differently abled peers in their adjustment and education along with them in the inclusive setup. They may then call the students volunteering them for the running of the buddy system in the school. Now we look at selection of the non-disabled peers as buddies. So, the selection of the non-disabled peers as buddies should be made with great care. Usually, the students selected for playing the role of buddies to the disabled students should be chosen for their maturity, kindness, and voluntary spirit of giving their time and efforts for taking away the disabled along with them in the performance of curricular and co-curricular activities by providing help and assistance according to their special needs. The non-disabled students playing the role of helping buddies must be provided appropriate training for exercising their responsibilities in the most appropriate way possible so that they do not try and do everything for their disabled buddy, turning him, of course, her heavily dependent on them. They should learn and be made competent to meet the special needs of the disabled in adjusting them to the inclusive setup and joining hands with them in their learning. In the buddy circle, the members should see each other as competent human beings, irrespective of the differences in their abilities. The differently abled may be imbibed with a number of unique abilities, irrespective of their impairment in one or two developmental areas, and the non-disabled buddies should also try to learn a number of specialties owned by the differently abled belonging to their buddy circle. For example, a hearing impaired may be a good photographer, cartoonist, poet, or craftsman. A visually impaired may be a good musician, a philosopher, creative genius, etc. The relationship in the buddy circle thus may be on mutually sharing and helping basis for each other's progress in curricular and co-curricular areas. There should be a rotation system applied in the inclusion of non-disabled peers, assisting and helping a disabled peer in the buddies groups working in an inclusive class. Since there is a possibility of growing resentment among the non-disabled volunteers that they have to work with a particular disabled child. Now let's proceed with the next point, benefits of buddy system. So first we look at benefits for non-disabled. Non-disabled children playing buddy to the disabled children may be benefited in terms of getting experiences of interacting with children who they may have not interacted with before, developing an awareness and respect for diversity, thus helping themselves to develop socially and emotionally, developing a deeper understanding of the task related to curricular and co-curricular areas as they help clarify ideas and rules for their disabled buddy. Next one is learning positive skills from their disabled buddy, such as learning to see things from a different perspective or learn to value of something they take for granted, that is value of the sense of hearing, vision, sound, intellectual development, locomotor ability that has been denied to the disabled buddy. Now we look at benefits for disabled. Children with disabilities can benefit from a well-planned, well-implemented buddy system properly through the buddy system encourages open and effective communication among peers and tend to break down social barriers with their classmates. It helps create a collaborative learning environment in which peers feel less hesitance to raise questions. This enables students to develop social networks and cross-cultural experiences, and it provides effective support for students who are at risk and to lower the attrition rate at the higher education level. A buddy system helps to promote friendship, better support of coursework, behavioral and social needs, and can foster a greater sense of belonging and more inclusive school community. And last one is becoming more independent, connected and confident. So in this way, today we have learned the buddy system. Thanks for listening.